There we go, we started. We started! Start now.
I might just go,
Well, you can just have my emotional wife. Oi, you! You're going to edit it out
Right.
anyway.
just drink your tea, just be normal, be... Yeah. Well, when we first found out, it was quite shocking, really, a bit upsetting. But my daughter was only 2 when we found out, so it took a lot of getting used to, and lots of different appointments, talking to people, and it's quite scary actually. Very rewarding, because any sort of, when you have a mainstream child who does things that normal developmental things, you're pleased, but they're normal things. But with an autistic child, if they do one tiny little thing like that, you really are so excited that they've made that little bit of progress. So it can be more rewarding in that way.
Was probably fighting for the funding for or giving that the local authority should have been given a certain amount of help, and they probably didn't. They probably let us down, and we kind of had to fight for everything that we thought was owed. So that was very difficult.
I mean, at the end of the day, it was embarrassing. It's a really horrible thing to say, but when you're 7 years old and your 5-year-old sister is screaming in the middle of the supermarket and everyone's staring at you, you feel a bit ashamed, and that was a really hard thing to deal with when you're that young, is to understand that you shouldn't feel that embarrassment.
It's funny, somebody once said to me, it's very much like a radio station that's not quite tuned in. So it's there, but things are just a little bit left or right of a path you expect it to go. I always think autism is like having a normal brain, but it's a bit cloudy, and you can't say what you want to say. You know what you want to say, but you can't, and it's just like being behind a piece of frosted glass, really, with frustration, not being able to communicate with people, and making you anxious and really frightened of everyday things that normal people aren't even bothered by, really.
Not at all in any way, because you make me laugh so much, and some of the things you come out with, I wouldn't change you. It's like saying, if I could remove my ginger hair, would I? Well, no. I mean, even though people tease me, I don't care. I love it. It's a part of who I am. It's something that makes me different. And I think your autism, it's quirky. It's something that makes you, I mean, you do have difficulties with it, but it makes you you, and I love you for who you are.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change my daughter's personality, because she's really lovely and affectionate. She's a really lovely little soul, but if I had the opportunity, I'm sure I would, remove that disability, if you like, from her life. Yeah, because as it's a lifelong thing, you don't know what the future holds, which is also, really a bit scary, really, as a parent. So I think I probably would if I could, yeah.
Well, if I could go back, I might have said to myself, chill out, no one cares, don't care what other people think, because she's your sister and she's more important.
I'd say to hang on in there, because when the child is small and things are so difficult, you think, what is the future going to hold, and I can't ever see any progress being made. And so looking back, I know that huge progress can be made with the right sort of input and help, and now I know that. Obviously I didn't at the time, so looking back, that's what I've said, just hang on in there.
Yes, of course there are, but then that's no different to how it was 10 years ago or will be in 20 years' time. People only know what they experience directly or get their nose rubbed in. So just like when I first found out that I had an autistic daughter, that only means to you what you've been given by society. So until you actually get your nose rubbed in it and have to find out more about it, then yeah, there'll always be an education process.
In terms of integrating them fully into society. So what I mean by that is like younger children befriending disabled people. It's quite hard to say that that's ever going to change, because children are so unaccepting of stuff they've not experienced, and a disabled child is quite hard to be friends with, I have to say. I mean, purely because even when your family finds stuff difficult to deal with, so as a friend, when you don't have to, you choose to. I mean, what kind of 7-year-old would like choose that kind of difficult friendship? So in terms of being younger and growing up, I mean, they still might get bullied and stuff, but I mean, like the Paralympics like this summer and all of that, and I think there has been an attitude change, but I think we've still got a long way to go.
Well, I was also told that she would end up living in a home place like with other people with learning difficulties. I'd like to think that maybe she wouldn't now. I like to think that even if she lives with me, within the family, in like a separate part of the house, that would be fine as well. I'd like to think she could be, independent of us, but I don't know. I think it's a bit too early to say really, we're just being 16, but we'll see how she gets on. But
I think that she'll be able to go to university, she'll be able to move out and live on her own if she wanted to be. There will be certain extra things we'll have to think about and make sure that that she's suitably safe and there is help within reach, but there is no reason why you shouldn't be able to move away from home if that's what you wanted to do, and there's no reason at all why you shouldn't be able to work, hold down a job, or be successful or as unhappy as the rest of us.